Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. All right, boys and girls. Boys and girls. It's go time today. 7th. Is it? The 7th, Tuesday. 7th of April. Yesterday, big day. Wrong. That is wrong. Hold on. Why is it doing that? All right, well, we'll just change it. This should be display 1. There we go. Hey, can you see it? No, wait, that's not it either. That's not right either. Let's, hold on. Man, I come in, I'm all, let's go time. And then, no. Totally blow it. Okay, no, we got it. Bob Bear. Hey, Seth, welcome back. How are you? All right, here we go. Yesterday, huge update. Well, it wasn't like insane, but yeah, they come up well above target. You can kind of see here that the end here is not quite as visible on this chart, but at the close, they really exceeded. Huge stop run comes back. Then on the overnight, pushing even further. In fact, almost to or maybe they did touch overnight 5% limit. So pretty big up. Now we got to scroll back out and we can see that this gap has finally been filled. They are now putting in volume above the gap. So where do we go from here? I'm not quite so sure, but I definitely feel like that, well, some of this was overdone. Some of this is overdone as well. So short covering probably bringing us back up to there. There is a possibility that we could turn back down. Unfortunately, there's probably going to be like a trillion retail traders that still think that the world is falling apart, trying to short it, which will make things exceptionally difficult on the short side if that's the way that it goes. So, back here, I have like my new data feed going. I've only dropped 16 frames. Yay! That's good. That's 0.0%. And those were probably like me screwing around. So we can conclude IQ feed causes DPC latency spikes on your system that are will screw up your streaming. And I don't know what that means for using the data feed as a whole, but overall, it was not quite as amazing as it was billed to me. Now we're using CQG, and we have index data. So I'm quite excited about it. I have the tick down here. Look at that. It's negative. Well, so it's negative right now. I don't exactly know how the tick works, so yeah. Let's read about it. Tick index. The tick index compares the number of stocks that are rising to the number of stocks that are falling on the New York Stock Exchange. The index measures stocks making an uptick and subtracts stocks making a downtick. Oh, I see. So that means that at the moment, down 29 for that minute, I guess. Anyways, I figure we put that down there and kind of compare it. I think that we should put in like a line here. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Let's draw drawing tools. Horizontal line at, well, it says -1. We will fix that. Properties, data, 0. Okay, cool. Now we can see. Oh, and we need to turn on the text to speech. Come here, text to speech. Watch, I'll probably drop a few frame sizes to do this. Yep, there's the 33. Cool. Cool. There we go. All right. Let's minimize that. By the way, how's our Bitcoin doing? Haven't checked in on them in a bit. Well, they're making a shot for 7,500. That's kind of like just a retracement, though, so we'll see what they do. Here's the VIX here. That was yesterday, though. So I don't know what the deal is with the VIX. It looks to me like it doesn't like load historical data. Like it can only get 2 days back. So yeah, okay, that's okay. I note though that it is decreasing. As we move up, I think that you might see it decrease even more. I'll keep this one open just over here somewhere and just keep it minimized. Okay. So now the next thing is, oh yes, I believe that we can. I don't want to make any or put any orders out, but if I try to put something out there, I think it should. No. No.
Order submitted.
Because it's not in the regular session. It won't let me. Won't let me put order in. Okay, cool. So that kind of sucks. But, they've been doing the crazy stuff in the overnight session, so I guess it makes sense. Let's see what you guys are saying in Discord. Sweeps, I agree. Rise was too fast, and the economy is definitely in a major recession. From a technical standpoint, the volume up is not outstanding. I think next major down move is either once New York gets sorted out and we start having major outbreaks elsewhere, or everything pretty much gets sorted out and we have it coming back. Nice observation, Sweeps. I definitely agree that this move came too hard and too fast, and it's predicted on Hopium. It's all the new traders who are hitting at home with nothing else to do. They must have been really bored at 2 a.m. Yeah, nah, I don't know. I mean, the Europeans are definitely doing their thing. Okay, there was a lot of volume down at 27.16. Interesting. However, I continue to see downside, but at the moment things are a little bit too narrow, we shall say. Do we have news coming out today? Oh, we don't have a whole lot of news this week, do we? Yeah, let's go look at the calendar. This week, so it's Tuesday. Tomorrow, bond auction, FOMC minutes, Ooh, that will be interesting. PPI on Thursday, CPI on Friday. Bank holiday in Canada. Good Friday. I see. Yes. Okay. So I think that we should expect to see things cool off a little bit. And what about our currencies? I can see that the euro is gaining on us. Hmm. And what about our treasuries? We didn't really look at our treasuries too much. Oh, they took a really big sweep down overnight. Really big one overnight. Below 138 again. Yeah, you see here giving me my ding a ton of times. It's going in a narrow range, but it's really fussy. So where was that big move? Big move way overnight. I wonder if there was some stuff going on in China. Let's pull up this show all of the currencies. Is there something overnight happening that made that all happen? Eurogroup meetings, Halifax. No, I don't really see anything.
Daniel Guillemot says Seth in the bottom right, what indicators are on that chart? Daniel
So
Guillemot says are they free, available to me as well?
so they're just moving averages essentially. I have this right here. I need to get rid of the labels on it so that we can see the chart a little bit better. Oh, do I have a volume profile? Oh, I do have a volume profile on it. That's funny. Let's see here. Where is the name of that? Oh, we already got rid of the label on that one. Does it go away? Nope. Oh, has multiple data series on it, so I need to come in here and get rid of the labels on this label. Man, I have a lot on there. That's a complicated chart. Yeah, so one thing that I have on there is these little circle things. That's the order flow trade detector that you get if you have the registered version of Ninja Trader. And then the red and blue is just another data series. So I have a 10-minute data series overlaid behind it. And I've just created my own bar type. I believe that we posted that in the Discord. And then the other ones are just moving averages. There's a volume profile over here on the side. Nothing too big. So I wouldn't focus too much on the chart and what's on there because a lot of it is there for my own amusement. Yeah, it looks cool. You don't really need it to trade. We're more interested in watching where the volume is coming in over here and then seeing if we get a push the other way that kind of moves where the volume has to go. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me explain it better. If we come up in here and we trade a ton of volume, and then we come down and there's a certain point at which I it would be somewhere around here. Yeah, it would probably be a little bit down more. It'd probably be like 21 right here. There's a certain point at which all of these guys right here are like, oh, well, that sucks. Goodish. And have to give out. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I want to see a spot where there's some volume traded up here, and then they come down and they're starting to trade more volume down here, and that's pushing price the other way. I can see here we're coming up into an area where I would expect to see a little bit of resistance. So we can just want to pay close attention here. It's a little random though. I don't know if I want to take a trade in this area.
Daniel Guillemot says cool, so riding the stop run maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of looking for the spot in which the traders seem to think that the momentum is shifted and just buying a little, taking a little bit of that continuation. And then under certain circumstances, I'll try and hold it. Still kind of working that part out. Move my microphone just a little bit.
Ron Johnson says, do you ever trade the Eurex market?
Nope, I don't even get the Eurex data. I wake up at this time because we can trade treasuries. I'm just not sure what I want to do in the treasuries, to be honest. They've been being weird. They kind of look like they want to sell to me. I think that they'll clear that 28.5. Let's see. Well, they cleared it, but then it went bid again. Somebody definitely trying to hold that. Oh, there you go. Da-da-da-da. And look, the E-mini is taking a more extended leg up. So perhaps the trend is changing again and returning to up like they were earlier in the night. Yeah, that one's like, should have just clicked in at 28.5. Da-da-da. Well, that's the first one in a while that I've gotten right in the 10 years. So, oh wow, oh wow, what is this? Okay, somebody push back, take it off right there, right at 25. So what would that have been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not bad. That was some heavy selling. So look at this bid versus this offer on here, right? Comes up 3 times.
Block sell.
Whoa. Holy shit. You see that? So he was like 900. This was like 300. He hits the 300. They tick up. Somebody comes in and smacks it down 3 prices. What the fuck? Oh, they're going to put it on. They're putting on a show for us, apparently. Check a couple of things here. Sure I'm not missing anything. By popular demand, $288 Ryzen 7 3700. Oh, I want it so bad, guys. I want it so bad. I don't want to spend $300 right now. So, pretty good pullback, but man. You come in on the 1 range chart, you can just, it's so clear. Oh, why is it giving me... Huh. Oh, that's a little better. I don't know. I mean, there's a little bit of buying here in this area, like profit taking in the 10-year. But that guy, the way that he pushed it down, I think that he wants the low of the day. When they were coming back, he was like, nope, no. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. We going down. Now, the E-mini definitely turned up there. I'm wondering. Yes. Should keep an eye over here now, I think. We should turn our attention here. They're pushing up awfully strong. I'm kind of tempted to take this one early, but the tape is kind of telling me no. So they really want that previous hour's high. They're just a little short. They're like 2 ticks short. As this is all happening, the euro is gaining in strength. Is that correct? You know what? I never figured out trading view. If I come in here and I do buy the euro versus the USD, right? Euro USD. And it is moving up 1.00972. Okay, so yeah, that is the euro. The euro is gaining strength. Okay, and here They're not trading enough volume down there. The impulse comes, but the volume is not. Treasury ticks up. They're trying to tick into 06.5. Looks like I should bail here. Dang it, I missed it. There's a little yappy dog outside I can hear, and he distracted me. Yeah. Okay, well that's good. I knew what I wanted to see, and I wasn't seeing it, so I got out, and I got out with a pretty small loss. So reset everything so we can kind of see. I want to right there. Yeah. I want to see volume coming in down into this area. Mm. Ouch. I was thinking I should have waited, tried to get a more efficient entry.
Ryan says, do you take a new thumbnail every morning?
New thumbnail for the video? No, it's the same one. It's the same one. Me going, we did a photo shoot. I probably should. There are some of these guys I've seen on YouTube, right? There's some of these guys I've seen on YouTube that
Ryan
they
says,
make a
lol.
new one every day, and I'm like, that is way too much work. Like, what are you doing all day?
Gary Rich says expected moves, S 2.7%, YM 2.8%, NAS 2.6%, CL 8%, GC 2.2%, SI 3.4%.
So, Gary, yesterday when you were saying that I was dumb, were you talking about that? Were you talking about the edge that you're showing me right now? Is that why you were saying I was dumb? So when you were saying it, I thought you were talking about like the moving average and stuff that you gave me earlier. And you had completely
Gary
forgotten
Rich
about it.
says no.
Oh, okay. Okay, it wasn't about that? Because I went back and I looked at it yesterday at the end of the day, and I was like, oh my god, like you could have just held that. Like I had like an amazing trade, you could have just held it all day. Because once I got my CQG data, and the first thing I wanted to do was try and see what you're talking about. and I was stunned. Like, it'll only show me 2 days of back data, but I was just stunned. It was like it was so effective. And I even took it a couple of steps further, and it was, like, telling me where, it was predicting pivots earlier in the day pretty effectively too. I was like, "Whoa, okay." Now it's telling me to go short.
Ryan says I though you just wake up to winning trades every morning.
I thought you just nope. Nope. You know what? I wish I could say that I'm like amazing, and probably if I want to be like super popular on YouTube, that's what I should do. Every day, trader makes $600 yada. Nah, I don't like saying that because for one, I feel like it gives new people um false hopes. I feel like it's manipulating people, and that you're not really helping them accomplish the thing that they want to accomplish, which is becoming a good trader. And the thing that you got to realize to become a good trader at the very beginning is that it's really effing hard, and that you're not going to win all the time, and that it's a constant struggle. And so I, when I struggle, I don't do anything. I don't like try and hide it. It's just when I do bad, I do bad, and it's there. And some of the most watched videos are the days where I do really bad. So yeah, a little bit more. I mean, they're going for it, but not. They're not pushing. It just kind of happened. Do you see that? Like, look at the ladder in the ES. A little bit down in here, but at 27, 28. But they really weren't. They really weren't being aggressive and shooting for it. And when it falls down, it kind of just does it. Well, there you go. So, like, that one was pretty easy. Okay, now he's letting it fall. Maybe now we'll see a little bit more volume down in here. Maybe some 200s print somewhere in here. 150 is not bad. Okay. That's a little bit more like what I was expecting. I think that I can let this one ride. Normally here at this spot might be a place where I might want to try and add to it. But I don't want to add too much risk right now, so I'm kind of sit on it. It's gonna wash back a little bit. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. A little too fast.
Ryan says Seth I tried to get you to help me make something like CQG.
What do you mean something like CQG? Well, that's interesting. Custom data display.
Ryan says custom data display.
I'm not quite sure. So is it like a little window that will show you pieces of statistics or something? Yeah, this is like something that we don't want to be in. Well, I might have to eat the whole thing. That's curious action. I have not seen that before.
Ryan says yay, it was a way of plotting the DATs, and reading it in a crossing matrix style to find pivots.
Well, what's wrong with something like, or maybe I'm not saying what's wrong, but like something like this, with the market analyzer with each instrument, and it tells you certain things about it. I don't need an average daily volume. That one's not, doesn't tell you anything. And make that one teeny tiny. There you go. Anyway, something like that, and then you can just make custom indicators to tell you the numbers that you want. Well, it started to turn negative, but somebody is really insistent. DMI?
Ryan says DMI is where it's at.
Directional movement index? Oh yeah, I used to mess with that. I didn't completely. There was other indicators of trend that I found to be more useful. Like I really like to just see where are we compared to the open, you know? Because price is the most, since all of these are based on price is the fastest, right? Everything else is kind of a lag of price. Yeah, he's just pushing it up.
Ryan says I can't believe the dollar has been so strong with all this panic.
Oh, well, the dollar is always a safe haven. Always. Especially when everybody's getting margin called and you can't even buy it. You know, you can't even get into a gold position. Where are you going to go? Cash. Yeah. See, here he's doing it again. I don't have. No, I can't. I can't.
J-Dub says
one.
same. I feel that I thought Bitcoin would go way up, TBH.
No. But I tried to tell you, we had this discussion like almost, you probably weren't around, J-Dub. I have this discussion with this stream like literally every day. Bitcoin is a risk asset. It trades like a risk asset. Its value is based on how much people are using it. And in a low economy, there's going to be less transactions on the blockchain. That means less people buying it. That means price lower. And that's exactly what happened when things got scary, was Bitcoin fell with everything else because it's deflationary. The Bitcoin as a safe haven.
J-Dub says literally everyday lol, I love that.
The theory of Bitcoin as a safe haven was
J-Dub
absolutely
says, and
crushed.
I never thought of it like that, thanks.
Yeah, was absolutely crushed. It's It's going to be really interesting to see where Bitcoin goes from here, to see how the community deals with that, because I don't think that they're going to go, oh well, we're wrong and we need to change the way that we. That's not Bitcoiners. You know what I mean? So we'll see what they do. They brought it back up to 7,500 though, so there's really this line in the sand at 6,000, which might not look like too much on a technical chart or anything like that, but a lot of people have been long from 6. That's been like a key pivot point many, many times. So if they start pushing below 6 again, then you might start to see some people decide that they don't like the pain and puke. Okay, so it's coming back up. I could try this again. Let's see here. It would be at
Ryan says with the strengthened dollar, the correlation between Bitcoin and currency has changed from non-convergent to the USD to now being convergent with the USD.
yeah. Currencies overall, though, have been doing
J-Dub
some
says I just
interesting
did a
things.
blockchain transfer just now and yeah, they aren't going to say it's bad or anything. I don't like all the talk about it being the be-all currency. It's good for what it is, online currency.
There you go. But is it really good for an online currency anymore? Because if the U.S. government makes one, then what happens? Oh, I need to ditch this. Darn it. This is the same thing that happened to me yesterday. Is it's just kind of fiddling around with me.
J-Dub says oh yeah, you're right. I don't think the USGov will that we will keep the value of the dollar strong and maybe just support Bitcoin.
And the other thing that's so funny that I find, well, not funny, but that I find so interesting is that during a recession, the dollar tends to gain in strength. People buy treasuries, and central banks print money. And everybody always goes, "Oh no, we can't do that. We're going to have inflation. There's going to be massive inflation." And I'm like, okay, like we've done this now for like every crisis since the Great Depression, and it never did that. Like it literally never did that. Why is it that everybody's always so concerned about inflation in a recession? Like everybody's out of work. People aren't buying things. How you get inflation when people can't even buy things? It makes no sense at all. But and yet that's always the first thing I hear.
Ryan says distributing inflation make unfelt.
Yeah, there might be
J-Dub
inflation in
says you're
some.
right.
There might be inflation in some assets. Like during QE, we saw money coming into all sorts of futures assets, gold. Boy, I mean, literally everything. It was like pick something that day and it would move up. That was the year of QE, but it never made it to the consumer. Because it's being used to invest into things, and so it never makes it to people and consumer goods to actually create the inflation that the Federal Reserve cares about, which I guess is good, but maybe also suggests that there is some concerns with monetary easing that we don't look at. Okay, I should be paying attention to this a little bit more and realize that we're so yeah that we're really just in a tight range, and that green bar, well, that move up that we had was range extension of sorts. Oh, I didn't notice that the treasuries did go down and take new low. And then came back a step.
Gary Rich says the Fed's target inflation as a junkie configuration. We citizens suffer inflation in services, food, energy, etc. That's always real.
Yeah, well, I mean, the number, like the inflation numbers, like this, the CPI in particular, has been pretty low. Like the Fed has had to pump a lot of money into it to get to that 2% target, you know? Um, but the thing is that the wages don't seem to be rising. I think that we're learning something now. It's going to take them a really long time to really prove it, but I suspect that inflation has a lot to do with the minimum wage and things like that. Like, if you increase the minimum wage, then you get inflation. And the reason why there was so much inflation in the 70s was because the minimum wage was so high.
J-Dub says, what are we supposed to do in crisis? They don't any choices, either let everyone go crazy or hand out checks.
Yeah. And so when you don't have that, when the minimum wage is actually really quite low, and you add on top of that all of the competition coming from all over the globe, you don't really get inflation. The central bank has to pump like crazy to even get to its target, which is actually really beneficial to your economy. And I don't know at what point it becomes a problem, but through the last expansion, it was awesome, you know? And like, honestly, if it wasn't for this virus, we'd probably still be pumping up, maybe going too far. I don't know. We were a little high. The S&P 500 needed to do a correction. I thought there'd be a correction, not
J-Dub
a
says min wage
recession.
is always a tricky topic.
Yeah. But you see, it's just like anything
Jose
else
Gill
with
says,
data,
how do
right?
you read the tape?
They
Gary Rich says the money pumping is getting out to the public like M1, M2 assets have inflated like the markets. Fed watches PCE.
yeah. See the one that I always pay attention to, just because it's such a significant number for the markets that I look at, is that CPI number. And anytime that we were like concerned with inflation, you would see it come in the PPI, but not the CPI. They just look like they want to buy it. I'm like very much against the trend here. Mm. And now that it's 7:10, the chances of me getting that sell until the open is like really low. How do you read the tape? Yes, that's right. So the thing that I'm looking at when I'm reading the tape.
J-Dub says, I think the virus was a good correction. TBH, I felt like we might have been in a bubble. Not sure what type of bubble, but I know there was one.
Yeah, well, like the thing that's crazy is like we were in a bubble, and we are going into we are in a recession. But then when you look at how much we've fallen compared to where we were when Obama left office, it's not that bad. So if you believe the market
Ryan
today,
says crypto bubble.
Yeah, if you believe the market today, man, because the market today is saying like, oh, it's all over and everything's hunky dory, and then we would be like literally right up there again, which I don't think really makes a lot of sense. I think that there's a lot of trouble and that it's going to take us a while to sort this all out, you know? But I digress. Joe Gillass was asking, how do you read the tape? And the thing that I'm going to be looking at is, well, it's easiest to watch it in the 10-year, because when you're doing it in the E-mini, it's fast and you have to look across multiple prices and stuff. But I'm looking at the bid and the offer, right? So the bid is 800 and the offer is 300. Okay, now it's 700 and it's 600. So kind of watch how that changes. And you'll notice that when the bid gets too big compared to the offer, then the orders will come in. So like if it's 800 and this is 200, then people will buy it. Because that says that there's too many buyers and that they're going to have to flood into this price. But then I will see, okay, when they hit, what happens? So sometimes what you'll see is you'll see what's going on right now where they absorb, right? There was only 800 ever max, but 2,100 traded. And in this environment, because they're not putting a ton up on the DOM, you'll probably see that a lot where there will be icebergs everywhere. But then sometimes you'll see it and they'll put 200 up there and it'll trade, and maybe it'll only even be 150 and it'll trade through, right? And that happened in a couple of spots, like right here at 26. Like when we were looking at it short, back when it was like what 30. Oh, it was no, it was already down. It was like somewhere in here, and then I was like, okay, they're gonna take this, they're gonna take this, and then this one, literally nothing trades, right? They hit into it and it goes right through it. And when that happens, they're not interested in trading that area. They're gonna fall until they find buyers again, right? So that's the gist of it. Is you're looking at these 4 columns which represent 4 forces and kind of see when they hit each other, what does it do, and when does the trend of that change? Okay, so that time ticked down, not a whole lot at 23, but they stabilized. It looks fairly equal right now, but there's a chance that at some point these bids start falling apart and then they come down to 21.5. And you kind of get a feel for who is stronger based on that sort of stuff. So now if we come over to the E-mini and we look at the same thing, you notice that there actually is a lot of people long right now, and they're kind of giving up profits, and so they'll come down here and you'll actually start to trade a bunch of volume down in here, to the point where it's just about to turn and you could actually get like a real downside. And then all of a sudden some big guy comes in and smacks it up. Somebody really, really interested in keeping the E-mini supported. So I took it. I tried to take it a few times too many. Yeah, that one right there, that 15 one, I'm not happy about. But these two are okay. And this one actually, which one? The one that I lost 10 on, that one was actually a good trade. But the market, I'm having a hard time judging the range right now. No, you can't even see that. But there was one where I actually had 16 ticks favorable, but I didn't take the profit. So I was looking for more. Oops. Describe each one of the 4 forces. So when I say the 4 forces, think about the 2 forces that we always talk about in the market are supply and demand, right? So if we just ignore all this side over here and we only look at this side, this is like a typical market. It's just these 2 sides. There's people out there that have supply, and they put the supply out there and they say, I have this much supply here, and then if you buy all of that out, you're going to have to start paying me more. And there's more at a higher price and a higher price, okay? And then, demand comes in and they buy it, right? They're the ones that say, okay, the best price right now is 24, so I'll buy into 24. Okay, so supply is limit offers, right? Limit sell orders, essentially, offers, okay? And demand is market buy orders, right? But I said there's 4 forces, right? And a future is a 2-way auction. So here's the auction up. There's another one on the other way down, and this one is the opposite. The supply on this side are the limit buys, and the demand on this side is the market sells, right? So that's kind of the part that makes it complicated. Is I can see, okay, what is the balance between supply and demand on this side? What is the balance of supply and demand on this side? And based on how they move, what can I determine from that?
Ryan says so two markets on one chart.
Well, no, I mean, they're every chart that you look at, this is what's really going on underneath.
Jose Gil says thank you.
Okay, so they're getting some good upside here now, and they're going to try and hit for this like 740 area, I think. They might just like come out on the open and just buy this. The ES is a play on the Fed's central banks. At this point, the Fed will buy stocks. If the market drops too low, all other fundamentals be damned. It's all about the market at all-time highs to infinity. I don't know. I mean, the question is how much is the Federal Reserve directly buying stocks? I don't think that they are. 2740 has some decent liquidity. Can't see that far away. I would bet it probably does.
J-Dub says TBH I think we are going to a 2,800 level today.
Well, for the time being, they're a little overextended. You can see this.
Radha Krishna says hi sir.
Hello, how are you? So when you come over here and you look at my upper right chart, and I have this MACD that I made that's based on the moving averages that I watch. And normally you would see like a, good fan this way and then a good fan this way. But when you look at this one, it's actually quite random, right? It's down a little bit, up a little bit down. This one never really came down and up again, right? It looks very messy. And that reflects what we've been seeing in the tape. It's really messy. And the only reason it's been going up is because that buyer is really adamant about it.
J-Dub says what was that indicator called?
It's a MACD. It's a form of a MACD. What a MACD is it measures the difference between two moving averages.
J-Dub says I know I seen that before. Radha Krishna says I am from India.
Yes, you told me that yesterday. So there you go. They come back. They seem to have formed a balance around 36.
J-Dub says and I didn't mean that like that lol sorry it hard to explain myself over text.
No, it's fine. The thing is that's so great about this chat is that it's not a huge chat. There's usually only like 30 to 50 of us on a good day. So
Christoph Chesney says hi, what is your prediction for today? Amini.
well, I'm not entirely sure at this point. I kind of want to see the open first. It looks like they want to continue up though. Problem is that you've got up to like 2800, 2850. Then there's another good gap that is going to present significant resistance. And this rally just, I don't know, feels wrong. Feels too fast. And they threw a big, huge fit.
Radha Krishna Krishna says, Sir, tell me to earn $10 to $20 work from home. I don't have any investment, any online job.
Yeah, I can't help you with that, dude. Sorry. The whole make money online thing is usually a scam. Like, honestly, if you need to earn money, you need to go outside, buddy. Go outside, find like manual labor, find somebody in your local area that will hire you. Begging for money online ain't gonna get you anywhere. Not gonna get you anywhere. I'm sorry. They're still going. Yeah, they traded a bit of volume up there for a point, but it's going.
Ryan says, Krishna, you got any computer skills?
Sell household items on eBay first. I'm gonna mute you guys for a second. I honestly, I don't want to talk about it, to be honest. We're not, this is about, um, how to, how can I explain myself? Thoughts on Microsoft. So I think that Microsoft is in a really good spot. I don't know about the specifics of the company's balance sheet. That's something that I need to look at. But their Azure web services are doing really, really well. And the entire cloud computing ecosystem is changing. And it is not nearly as heavily Linux as it used to be. And Microsoft is actually kind of coming the other way and is kind of coming in, becoming more command line Linux type like. And meanwhile, everybody has all these desktops that they need to support, and so they're getting good server architecture. Anyways, the whole Azure thing, like that's where the money is. That's where the money is, and so I think that Microsoft could do well. And especially with this coronavirus thing, there's going to be a lot more people out there looking to get their services in the cloud. It's going to be a lot more people trying to make themselves less dependent on physical sites. And so you're going to see more and more money going into Microsoft. But, the specifics of their balance sheet and some of the other things that you would need to look at to be able to know whether Microsoft is a good buy or not. I'm uncertain. And whether it's question isn't whether it's a good buy. I think it's a good buy, but is it a good buy compared to your alternatives? I don't know. I'm still kind of looking that out. I think that if you're providing value to people, that it will be self-evident and that people will come to you. When I see you go to people, like if I was on Twitter all the time, like constantly spamming, like I like to go out and, get the word out. Say, hey, here's, so that people can find it, of course. But if I was out on Twitter every day, hey, I got this YouTube and you guys should watch it and you should definitely buy my thing, then that's to me, it's like begging people to, if you have true value, it'll be self-evident. I hardly, barely at all promote um, my Patreon. It's, I think, very, very valuable, and people have found it to be valuable, and they've been contributing to it for a really long time because they like it, you know, because they see the use of it, and it's kind of spreads by word of mouth. Now, unfortunately, people are leaving the crypto market, and so there's less people interested in it. But that's the sort of thing that you want to look for, man. So like, don't go around like begging people to find some job for you. That's never going to work, and that's never going to get you anywhere in life. Find the thing that you do that provides value, and then just put it out there. Here's the thing that I do that provides value. And people should come to you. If you have to spam 20 people a day to do the thing, then maybe it's not a good business venture, So that's all I can really say to you, Krishna. I kind of suspect that because I'll get people on Discord message me about things, and I just see it's a scam. Spamming 20 people a day is dedication. Well, I mean, there's something to be said for marketing. I guess there's a difference between marketing and begging, you know. Well, so there was a good little peek. Sorry, there's a good little peek there. So that might be it until the open. Let's see what they do on the open.
J-Dub says, Seth, I am so tired of seeing these guys on YouTube talking about trading either Forex or stocks. Like, dude, stop with the get rich stuff.
Seriously. And like the thing that drives me crazy is the trader makes X $100 a day. Like, okay. Like, that's not the way that it works, right? I could show you, I could go on Sim and trade like 100 lots or something like that and make, you know, it's all dependent on your size. Like, how many ticks did you get? That's what would matter from a trading perspective. They're just preying on people's ignorance of the issue, There you go.
J-Dub says it Gary Rich cam girl stuff. Lol.
There you go, cam girl.
Ryan says Forex you can get rich. See, leverage is where it's at.
Okay.
Ryan says I just got 47 ticks.
So there's the initial move is pretty strong up. And they're already canceling him out. I'm really tempted to short it, but shouldn't be trading in this wild action. Okay.
J-Dub says, Seth, are you in a buy? Or nothing?
No, I'm in nothing. You'll see numbers show up in this to the left of the DOM here if I was in a trade. But I'm still kind of skeptical. Okay, that's not going to work. I'm going to need a new chart here. Okay. Well, there's been like waves have come in. I think that some sellers are going to sell in here. Okay. Now he's pushing it. Yeah. I think you're going to get a little bit more. Okay. Is he going to sit here a little bit? I think that there's a possibility of some more, but I really wanted to lock that in. It's telling me I could potentially get 8 though. So like to get 4 is volume is almost at max on the 5-minute. How do you maintain a calm state when you see a lot of movement in the market? Well, so I think there's kind of there's a thing that people will tell you about trading that I think is I'm not going to say it's not true, but it's deceptive and unhelpful. And that is that you should remain calm at all times. So like uh, we're humans and you're going to have reactions to certain things. And so the key is not to try and, control and keep yourself calm, but to be aware of what your state is and to not let that affect execution on your plan. So you'll hear me say sometimes like I'm in the trade, but it makes me feel nervous. I'll say that sort of a thing a lot. Because when you're in one and if those weren't live, that's another thing that helps. But it makes you nervous. But if you come in and you say, oh well, it doesn't affect me at all, well, then what's going to happen is you're going to get to that point where you are in a state, and you're not even going to realize, and there's not going to be anything that you can do about it. Whereas if you stay aware, um, you can deal with those issues, right? So that it doesn't affect your execution. That makes sense. So yeah, I mean, if I'm not in a good mental state, it doesn't, uh, it's not so visible, but I can feel it. My face gets droopy and it feels like something's weighing my cheeks down. It's just not a good feeling.
Kevin Wimmer says staying calm right now is hard for me. Super tilted today. Didn't get filled twice by 1 and 2 ticks and went for a piss and missed another trade.
Oh, really?
So far 0 trades, but 3 great opportunities.
So what is the deal here? Why am I not getting... I'm trying. I got this chart for VIX, and it's not giving me anything. What if I just do 1 minute? See, it hasn't given me a new bar yet. It just shows me what was from 7 to 9 yesterday, and that's it. What if I do reload all historical data? That's it. So what do you got to do to make it? Now look at my tick. Oh my. Oh, so on the open, everything was up and then. Interesting. Gary.
Kevin Wimmer says, well, for the Grande finale today, I will get one more setup and this time it is going to be a loss. I feel it's in the air. Gary Rich says it, Kevin, always keep a emergency pee bottle close, never miss a trade. J-Dub says, Jez, I just got out of a cell, I feel like I am playing with the devil, lol.
Well, I don't know what it takes to get my VIX to start printing me data, but look at 25 half 4K. This is not our normal trade.
J-Dub says, do you trade US 30 at all?
I don't put orders in the 30 very often anymore. I just had way too hard of a time trading it, handling the risk. I'd always get stopped out at 4. So I moved over to the 10. Plus the 10 seems to respond to the order flow a lot better. Okay, well, I think that we canceled out our little boo-boos from earlier. They're going to come and just careen right through here at 15, aren't they?
Kevin Wimmer says, what's this 30? It is the Dow? Or is this ZN?
He's talking about ZB, I think. When you look at like the yield, the
J-Dub says it's Dow.
on most platforms, if you want to look at the interest rate, it's usually US 30 YR. Like different on every freaking platform though. Yeah, that last one I took at like exactly the wrong spot. But that's okay. We'll sit and wait now. So they got down to the point where everything was negative, and now they're bouncing again.
J-Dub says, lol, you are right, everything changes on every single platform, lol.
Right. Well, I mean, the futures instruments names are usually consistent, except for on CQG, they use different symbols for some freaking reason. But a lot of the indexes and stuff change. It's annoying. Okay, so there was a good sweep down there that was recovered.
Gary Rich says, Seth, look into Anli Pref shares, you can get 6.25%, its par is very low. In IRA it's tax-free. Winning.
Okay. Is that a stock? Oh, Anli Capital Management, preferredstock.com.
Gary Rich says, go to quantum.com, lots of info.
Okay.
Gary Rich says go to quantum.com, lots of info.
That website doesn't seem to be loading. Oh no, wait, it's just too big of a thing at the top. Innovative solutions. So you're saying that they are a company that I should buy shares in, or are they?
J-Dub says what time do you wake up to trade?
I start trading at the beginning of the treasury session, which starts at 8:20 Eastern time. I only trade for about 2 hours. Okay.
Gary Rich says it's preferred shares, which is higher than the common shares.
Right. So you're saying I should buy the preferred shares of
Kevin
that
Wimmer
company?
says, why is no one using accents anymore? Normal bot voice is boring. China number 1.
I don't know. I guess they forgot how to use it. I even made the command, so if you do accents, it will list them out for you and tell you how to change your accent and stuff. Okay, that's not good.
Kevin Wimmer says accents. Kevin Wimmer says.
There you go.
Speculator Seth says use set accent to permanently set your accent. Use accent for a one-off. Accent choices: Russia Ukraine China Germany UK Japan Japan Sweden Indium.
Cool, yeah.
Ryan says you're in short, right?
No, that was a long.
Kevin Wimmer says got it.
I'm going to try it again.
Ryan says FK.
Kevin Wimmer says, set accent China.
There you go. Now every time you talk, you don't even have to set the thing in. It will
Speculator Seth says accent set to China for Kevin Wimmer.
There you go. Maybe I should make it so that it doesn't read those ones out. Good. Wow.
Kevin Wimmer says, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Wait, what happened on that one?
Ryan says the volume of both sides was at max on the DMI.
That's weird. There we go. I didn't have them sorted right. There we go.
Ryan says set accent UKF.
Is it going to do it? That one's weird. Did you copy and paste the set accent?
Ryan says set accent Indium.
Because if you copy and paste, sometimes it doesn't pull it over correctly.
Kevin Wimmer says, man, such a tight range in oil. Expecting some kind of breakout, to be honest, and want to join either side. Right now, double inside day in oil.
Ryan says yes.
Yeah, don't copy and paste it. You gotta type it out. Because when you copy and paste, you get HTML escaped
Ryan
versions of
says
the
set accent Indium.
There you go.
Speculator Seth says accent set to Indium for Ryan.
There you go. See? Ready to go? Maybe we should make it so that it doesn't read them out. That'll be a feature change I'll do later.
Ryan says your bot is very, very nice.
Oh my god. You couldn't have picked a better phrase for it to say. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was so funny. Very, very nice. Man. Read that out again. That was so good.
Ryan says your bot is very, very nice.
Good stuff.
J-Dub says ha ha ha.
That last one I got pretty good. 24. Oh, I actually could have gotten a little bit more on it, I think.
Gary Rich says yes. Most of these are par at 25 trading well below. Where are you going to get 6.25% in this environment? One is never too old to start buying pref shares.
Yeah. So is there a symbol for them? What is the stock symbol for it? Or actually, let's just go to finance.yahoo.com. And then we're searching for Annalie Pref. Is it Principal Spectrum Preferred Securities Active ETF? No. There we go. NLY-PF? Annalie Capital Management Preferred Shares? That one right there.
Gary Rich says Seeking Alpha has good articles on preferred shares.
Forward dividend and yield is 12.41. Wait, what? You said 6.25, and they're saying that the forward dividend is 12%. I don't know about that one. It looks like they have a bunch of different options, so I'm not quite sure which one is the one that you're talking about, but I'm getting short again.
Gary Rich says that's with price appreciation and the coupon.
Okay. So now here's the question. What makes you think that they're going to keep their dividend the way that it is? Is it from a dividend? Because there's a lot of companies that have really high dividends now, and you just know that they're gonna cut them, right? This last one isn't enough for me to go short. In fact, I could let it come back to here and probably to go.
Gary Rich says prefer shares pay out different than common shares.
Right. And you get different voting rights and things like that. I'm definitely adding it to my list. I was just making sure that I was understanding the recommendation correctly. Okay. Some interesting order flow there.
Gary Rich says the common shares will always get blown out first and paid last in a bankruptcy.
Sure. Cool. Should I have held that one? Nah, I don't have enough of a war structure to try and hold it right now. I mean, if there's something that yields 6%, I'm impressed, man. That is exactly the sort of thing that I'm looking for. Now they are a capital management company, so I would need to see. Minimize that. Oh, I already closed it. Tisk Seth.
Ryan says I wanna teach you Sate.
But I would need to see what they actually own. What is their sector? What is the word?
Gary Rich says Anli is the
Exposure.
best in breed of what they do.
Okay. But they own other companies, right? They kind of like, it sounds like, just from the brief description I've read, that they're kind of like a Berkshire Hathaway of sorts. Man, that went so much further. Yes. Oh, actually, there
Gary
was a
Rich says
question.
yes in way.
Oh, wait a second. Did I make a mistake there? 26. I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. It's okay. I made a big mistake there. It's okay. Focus, Seth. Focus. The mistake that I made was that we had an inside bar doji on the 5 minute, and I took that. So that was one that once it broke out on the upside that I probably could have held. That was one that I should have held, and that could have gotten $50 out of it. Oh well, I guess, but
Gary Rich says if you are under 40, start looking at these ideas so you can earn tax-free till you retire. Not so it when you're 60 plus.
Yeah, well, I really want a portfolio that I'm like actively manage, And when I say actively manage, I mean like I have my names and I believe in them, and I'm not going to be trading it a ton, but like if the economic outlook changes, then I'm going to change up my balance, or if the company goes down and I still like my outlook, I'll buy more, and so on and so forth. And use options too. Yeah, I kind of thought that they might buy up there a little bit. We're a little bit too far away now for me to feel comfortable just hitting into it, but I have to say that down bar.
Gary Rich says pref
Not,
shares are applied for wealth management and retirees. Take advantage of these while you're younger.
yeah. The only concern is, other than having to do all of my due research, is the sector weighting of the portfolio, my portfolio as a whole. So I already own shares in a financial company, so I don't want that to give me too much interest rate exposure, per se. That makes sense. Like if it's exposed to a lot of the same risks that Goldman Sachs is, then that might not be appropriate for me. But it sounds to me like they're more of a company that owns other companies of sorts. So then I would want to see which sectors they're in and how it relates to the ones that I want to get in, and make sure that I'm just not overweighted towards one area. Okay, so that is maybe a place I can buy it. Missed it, I think.
DJ says just took a winning trade in the micro Russell.
Hey, there you go. You like trading the micro Russell?
Ryan says S down when?
Yes, down when? I don't know.
Ryan says volume returns.
I have to say, at the moment, they don't look like they're interested in moving down a whole lot. I mean, you got a pretty good kicker up there, and now they're back to the open
Ryan says
price.
look in Discord.
DJ says not very liquid, but it's slightly less volatile than the micro S.
It's less volatile than the micro S, really. Oh yeah, you guys have told me that before. I think you keep telling me that because you all think that the Russell would be.
DJ says
I'd be
slidey.
interested in. I just never.
Gary
take
Rich
it.
says yes. Financials, the common shares are gonna be hard to earn in 0% interest rates. You
Yep.
can find pref in financials as well. I'm sticking to agency paper ones.
Okay. Well, thank you for the tip, bud. Okay. So struggling a little bit
Ryan
here.
says the buy does correlate nicely with the volume.
And they're trading pretty. They traded pretty decent volume on the open, wouldn't you say?
Ryan says on the down volume the price dropped.
Well, I think I misjudged this one. See, they're coming down on me. I think they're going to bounce again, but I should have taken the profit back when it was up there.
Ace Trade says at Gary Rich, I have never been invited to guest DJ, have you?
I've done it a few times. We crossed our line there, but everything is blue. So I don't know if I should puke it or if I should just let it work its way out. I do think that it is going to resolve up. It just might struggle, and I don't know how much I would lose on waiting for it. Yeah, well, now it's too late. Jeez. Oh, hey, there's that buyer again. Holy crap. It's like anytime that it even becomes just a little bit questionable, he's like, all right, time to move up.
Gary Rich says at Ace been there
Getting
done
fight
that
there.
DJ stuff, FMR break dancer. Oh my.
What is FMR? Former brand dance breaker. I gotcha.
Ryan says wait for the volume to return.
Yeah, this is not the best trade, I don't think.
Ace Trade says at Gary Rich, I bet you tore it up in the day.
Ryan says pause 30 minutes.
So that still put me, well, a little bit. Okay. Let's let them resolve a little bit. It still looks like a buy to me, but I don't think that I got a good
Gary Rich says
location.
at ACE Nope looked like a fish flopping with seizures. Bad bad.
Maybe it is going to turn down. A bunch of issues just turned negative. They're kind of fighting it. Yeah, no, that's really bad. And back to this thing. Ooh. There's
Gary Rich says at Ace, how's your new venture coming along?
There's a potentially juicy downside here. Oh my gosh, I missed it again. Come on. Take it. Yes. That was it right there. This is one that I hold.
Ryan says this is scary position.
Think so. The situation that I'm looking at is this is one that when you get it, it tends to really run. So we'll see. Buyer could come in and save it for sure.
Ryan says like 4 minutes ago would have been more comfortable.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, and I missed a lot.
J-Dub says how much are you down, up?
It's like $7, I think. Up $7. Well, if they were to come all the way back to that, I would think that they would careen through it, so. We could probably try and work something out here. I think we should. Okay. No, that didn't work out as well as I thought. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to at all. I didn't want to give the position up. I just wanted to work out, a few scalps there to try and improve my risk. But see, now they're building volume down in here again. Yeah, stops, crazy stops. Now this is uncomfortable. What's this? Better. Should let this run.
Ryan says great at trade 8.
Yeah. Here's my trades right now. Oops. So here you can see down at the very bottom the total profit loss. Oh man, that came back so fast. I was like, it's 30. Hey, that's good. And then no, it came back. It's making me a little bit uncomfortable, even though I know. So they should go for this down here at 17 or whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, so they went for it. There wasn't a lot of stops on it though. There's the stops. These usually get crazy. Oh, okay. So right there, 14 would be fine. 52. Oh, you know what we should have done? We should have included the commissions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So we got 30 minutes left. We'll try and take another one, I guess. I guess I shouldn't have gotten out
Gary
of that.
Rich says a side note, all 3 of my toilets are leaking, man weird timing. Now
Oh,
the dog
really?
says nope that's my grass to do the business on lol.
This sounds like a job for Uzi. How are they all what? That's kind of weird. Now look at all this volume right here at 2712.50.
J-Dub says nice. Gary Rich says maybe they got the corona. Hey Jude 2109 says CL what's happening?
Well, I have a CL chart over here, and it looks like that CL is still trading in a relatively narrow range. 25 cents is not a narrow range in my opinion, but yeah, they've been between 26.50, 26.60 or so, and 26.20. Yeah, so about a 40-cent range in oil, and it looks like that they might break one way or another, probably down, but it's uncertain. I think that they're still in a holding pattern because they're unsure what's going to happen with oil. I suppose that oil could be a significant factor in terms of why we've been trading where we are.
Hey Jude 2109 says okay, thanks.
No, I wish I got that. You know, it's a little late now. I'm kind of tempted to jump on that and hope for a new low, but I think for a push like that, I think you want to have a little bit better risk on it than that. So we're going to let them turn. I think that they're going to turn here. They're starting to trade big bars. Oh, there you go. Come on. Come on. Oh, it's so close. I don't know if they're going to do it. Nope. Scratch that one. So close. That was a little nerve-wracking. Okay, well, let's try it on the other side here. I'm gonna have to get that now. No. Oh, that one. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. That was so dumb. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this could fall really far. Holy
Gary Rich
shit.
says I'm still bearish crude. The numbers don't make sense with OPEC. I follow Kai Girl on Twitter. She's good.
That was insane. But are they going to give me my target?
Ryan says I am number 1.
You doing good?
Hey Jude 2109 says I am bearish crude as well. RJ Wheels says what's Kai Girl overall opinion Gary?
I mean, the thing with the numbers is we're in an unprecedented situation, so of course the numbers are going to be crazy, right?
Gary Rich says bearish.
But can they actually make, there we go, 65. Now we're good. Now I can end the day and say I'm happy.
Ryan says no.
But I really think you could just hold this. Not the trade for me, but that setup, you hold that one.
Ryan says this is to be expected, crisis or not.
Yeah, I don't know. So here's a question. How real is the move up in the E-mini? Because that makes a great deal of difference, doesn't it? If the E-mini is able to recover fairly well without the oil thing being resolved, then is it really necessary for the countries of the world to rally all of the king's men to save oil and save the world economy? Not so much. You know what I mean? So the rally that we've had the past 2 days actually is kind of in favor of the Russians, isn't it? But there's a lot of question about the question would be how much
Gary
of it
Rich
was
says
for real.
oilprice.com has really good articles and you can see world oil prices.
How much of that was for real, and how much of that was optimism over the oil deal happening? And if it doesn't happen, we'll go away. You know what I mean? So it's that's kind of a tough chicken and egg approach, I guess. That I just read, but I really think you can just like, you know what, this is wrong. Indicators don't auto scale. There we go. I still can't see the VIX. Here's a chart. Here it is. It shows me yesterday, but it won't show me as it's happening. Like, what the hell? What am I paying for if it doesn't show it to me when they open? There is something wrong with this chart because it's not printing new stuff, is it? No, it is. That's 820. I don't know. Like it's so weird.
Ryan says the MNI future is an average, no trade the price of real or underlying things or currency.
I remove this. See, why isn't it? 1 minute. It doesn't give me any more. Maybe. Okay. I mean, the tick one is working just fine. Let's try. Okay, so first of all, I am connected to CQG. Let's go to database management here and update instrument lists. Okay. Index. VIX. Maybe it's not included. Maybe I was
Kevin
getting
Wimmer
it
says
from.
regarding oil, we have a double inside day so far and European JAS so far double distribution. Right now no clue which way it goes. Gonna watch which side the range from 26, 12, 26, 71 is gonna break.
Wait, how do you tell where it's getting the data from? Maybe
Ryan says you are so wise, Mr. Wimmer.
Double inside day, double distribution, no clue which way it goes. Yeah.
Kevin Wimmer says, "Oh, how do I reset my accent? But is awful regarding numbers and trading things."
You just set accent default. Let's see here. Edit.
Kevin Wimmer says, set accent default.
Huh.
Speculator Seth says accent set to default for Kevin Wimmer.
Wait a second. When I go in here, I do VIX. Oh, it puts that little caret in front of it for you to say that it's an index, I guess. How do I tell where that data came from? Hmm. I'm really frustrated. Confused. So I want to see. Okay, wait. Okay, let's back up.
Kevin Wimmer says so far it looks like a break to the upside. Got alert at 26.71 and if they make a strong push trying to get in a pullback. Same goes for short. As long as we are trading in this range I am flat.
Well, I think that the equities went far enough. I don't know if they're gonna completely retrace yesterday's move or not, but this right here. So when I did it, I set it up for CQG. in the bundle. And then the indexes: Dow, Tick, Trin, Advanced Decline, NYSE, Internals. If I want to get the CBOE VIX exchange data, I have to
Ryan
pay
says new low.
$13. So when I pulled this up, I must have gotten it from Kinetic or something. Well, I did find that the tick indicator useful, by the way, because once it started going, the issue started going negative, I was much more confident in taking shorts. Well, that still doesn't help me. Trading View. So I'll just add one on Trading View. Okay.
Gary Rich says the meat of the earnings start in 2 weeks, basically throw out 2020 earnings. They will definitely be very careful on guidances not to spook the markets.
So it's 44. They could retrace it all. If they continue with the downside, and it looks like they are, jeez, then you get no, that was a bad spot.
Kevin Wimmer says, can someone here please do a 1,000 lot market buy in oil? This range is getting tedious. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go ask Gary.
Gary
in
Rich says
Discord.
lol.
No, I think that's wrong. Well, I should I should have switched this. I should put these ones in experimental because I was looking at, okay, so I see a possibility for continuation. In retrospect, not so very good, right? In fact, probably. Oh, well, okay, fine. Probably we're going to turn and get a little bit of upside here, actually. I'll take one off up there and then. Oh. Hmm. That one is not. That one's weird. It should be a long, but it didn't. That's not what it said. Do we really think it's wrong? Well, I see the treasury ticking down, so I think I can. I think I'm okay. What was I trying to do here? 35. So maybe there. I think this volume is going to have to come up higher.
Ace Trade says at Kevin Wimmer, why are you in oil when there is still garlic coin to buy?
Hey Ace, did you get a
Gary
signal
Rich
to
says the
start?
YM is banging right between the ranges of 1.4% up and down off the close.
Around 26.99 was kind of an unique edge case. Probably not one to take, but I did get some out of it. So let's try flipping here. Okay.
Ace Trade says sorry, I didn't take that.
You didn't take it, yeah. Kind of thought. Whoa. Should have flipped so much faster. Gosh dang it. Sometimes I get these ones where it's like, okay, fine, I'll just take it down at the bottom and it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Hmm. Dang it. Puke, puke, puke. That experiment failed bad big time. What should we, I should switch that thing back. Yeah, so that's how you, didn't mean that those were not like all in the same account, but, or at least they were not
Ryan
intended to
Washington
be.
says I've been shorting that whole move. Looking for that buy as well though.
So it's like right here. Hmm. You can kind of see that they're coming, like they're fighting just short of where I want them to be. I'm trying to take too much from it.
Gary Rich says one good thing. 40-ish VIX is way better than say 80 VIX.
Yeah, it is. I think that just means that this is like a bad spot to trade. Or that it is going to flip back up. I don't know.
Gary Rich says gotta stay positive.
I'm just like always a little bit too slow, I feel like. So now are we going to have this
Ryan
area
says you
going
need
back the
ERLA
other way?
signals.
What? Yeah, well, I'm trying to base it off of order flow. That's why I think that I like hesitate. Hmm. Well, they went to the spot, turned.
Ryan says you need to find pattern that happen in the order flow, then the balance changes.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is I seem to be seeing something, but I don't know what it is. Like my subconscious is catching it sometimes, but it's not a conscious thing. And so I don't seem to be certain or reacting to it well. Sometimes I'm like really in sync with it though, and like
Twemdog says need better levels, Seth.
I have a place where like I feel like it can run and I don't click and then it goes and it runs. And I don't know why, if it's just random or if I'm really seeing something. And I just feel like that far too often I'm just a little bit behind the curve. Like I'm sitting there and I'm ready to click it, but I don't because I'm just not really like a plan. It's not really in the plan. I'm experimenting and then it goes, you know? So like here's a good example of like 2708. So should we just buy 2708 and it'll keep running or not? So far it's holding it. See, no. So now when it comes back, and this is kind of the spot where I'm like, okay,
Gary Rich says
then I
Seth's
miss it.
suggestion change your ATR to a line versus histogram. You can draw horizontal lines on ATR levels.
Okay. But why would it doing it as a line oh, okay, I see why.
Ryan says you are trading over too short of a time frame.
Oh, that's certainly true too. That's why these are kinds of I consider it more of an experiment. An experiment to see how in line with the order
Gary
flow
Rich
I
says
really
I
am.
also set an alert on my ATR when it gets to a certain number.
Oh, really? Well, let's come in here and change my ATR. I do think that you're right that it shouldn't be a bar, it should just be a line.
Gary Rich says yes.
But see, the thing that I think is funny is that in terms of the target thing, because it is coming short on my
Ryan
targets too.
Washington says what you set it to.
That's not more than
Ryan says
the
above average
ATR.
transactional rate or volume.
Like the ATR right now is saying I should be able to get. Well, this one is. So the ATR is saying I should be able to get that right, and I did. But I'm often going for double that, and it's not coming even close. Or there was ones where I was just looking for that, or even less than that, and it wasn't giving it to me. So yeah, I think I should do that. I think that would be more prudent. Like I think I should be taking a set target unless I have a reason to really think that it's going, and at the moment I don't really see that. No, it's failing.
Zaldia says hi, what are your exclusive indicators?
Ryan says what is Atra?
It's average true range. Oy. Bad spot. Bad spot. So bad. That one a fake signal? I don't know. So that one, the short actually was legit on plan.
Ryan says you should be finding the true range yourself with lines.
So what we're doing is we're looking at how far each bar is going, and then using that to calculate on average, what you should be able to get out of a trade, so that you can know if I'm going for this and the ATR is this, then that's maybe a little bit, too far. So the way that it's trading right now, I can get up to 5. But if you're late, then maybe you only want to take 2.5. So maybe you want to take, like
Ryan says the only way you
somewhere
can
up
call
here.
it average is if you expect it to reverse.
No, I don't understand what you mean by that. Either way, you see these are not working. I was like in really good sync with it before, and now all of these ones are like really bad. And a lot of it is being late to the trade and chasing it. And so let's try.
Ryan says what it means is the average for it to continue has more resistance than it does from it returning to the point it came from.
Sure. But I guess I'm just saying if I'm getting a swing, I should be able to get 5 points out of that swing. Like, that's the average amount that it's going to move. And if I got good risk, then it should be able to get about 5. But can you see that what's happening is I'm getting, oh man, I'm getting like 10, maybe.
Gary Rich says my ATR is at 7, 15 minutes chart. I
sorry.
see how much it's moved over the last 1 hour 45 minutes. Same for 5 minutes. I wait for a break above or below a range. I just verify liquidity with order flow.
So I'm not quite sure what it is about this area and the way that I'm trying to play it that is wrong, but there's definitely something about the way I'm doing it that's like dead wrong. Because I'm having way more adverse excursion than I am favorable. By like almost double. Now, were those all longs?
Ryan says a resistance factor should be adding by some sort of division.
Some of them are. But it's a little random. Sell, buy, sell, buy. So I think that it's just that we're in an arranged area, I guess. Maybe that means that eventually we're going to reverse here, but see here again. Dead wrong. And what did I get favorable? 11 and 13. I guess that one's a little bit more random. Now this one I could probably...
Ryan says maybe use square root.
Nah, I mean, I don't like diving too deep into the indicators, I only use it the way that I do to say, okay, so what should I be able to get for target? What's kind of an area where they turn? Yeah, that was bad. But I think that they're just, I don't know.
Ryan says Fibonacci is where it's at.
No. I think that I'm trying to trade in an area in which I cannot really, that I don't really have a very good edge. I'll almost be so pissed if this one does the same thing.
Ryan says 4 hour is engulfing.
I do think that they're going to trade back up to like 27, 18 eventually. It's kind of like when you got volume trading down in a spot and they can only trade there for so long until they have to come back to the average. And the average, the longer term average is way back up at 27.17. So if the volume is dying out here, and it does look like it is, then if I just put a stop down there, he's going to go and take it every fucking time. Watch. So let's sell it. Nope. Oh. A little bit. But we'd be looking for it to go like here. Oh, actually, I should take one of these off. Come on.
Gary Rich says add a VWAP. They drive it towards the VWAP and snap it up or down. In
Oh,
a
yeah.
say 20 tick range. I will never buy at the bottom or sell at the top of that 20 tick range.
Oh,
I wait
VWAP
to
is
break
all the
above or
way-
below it.
Yeah, the VWAP is all the way back up at 27.05. It's actually not as far away as I thought it would be. Well, there seems to be a lot of trade around this 98 area, but they're just not busting it. Doesn't seem to be, it just looks to me like I'm just getting really randomly bad entries. So was that one? Oh, yeah. Okay, so that one went further than we wanted. That one's good. Obviously, it doesn't even come close to making up for all of the bad ones, but I think that on a lot of those, I was trying to chase. So that's probably part of it. Like the ones before, I had a really good setup trend going with me, and so it was okay to chase them. And now that it's in a
Baron
range area,
Cosgun
chasing
says
is
short.
going really, really poorly, right? This downturn looks a little more nasty though. Like, I wonder what happens if they come down. Well, they're gonna
RJ Wheels says
try.
I support Gary on VWAP. It's a huge
Yeah.
price magnet. And a coin flip area.
Oh, I definitely watch it. It's just I watch it on the DOM, right? 26.99.25. I don't really put it on my chart anymore.
Kevin Wimmer says at ACE trades, why do I have to choose one? Garlic coin and oil both for the win, baby. Maybe things in oil will be clearer after the Europeans are out of the market.
Oh, this could really go, actually. Like, now that they've done that, it starts to look a little ugly, in my opinion. Like the targets and the people that would have to get blown out and everything.
Gary Rich says they bang that VWAP like a bad whore, and well, you know what I'm talking about.
Ryan says exactly.
From your idea set, it's also about narrow view in time field, just widen that before using narrow view small trends.
Yeah. I think the issue that I'm having is I've kind of got three things going on here that I'm looking at and trying to do, and I'm kind of getting some of my things crossed sometimes. So sometimes most of those trades I was trying to fill the order flow and take some continuations on them when it wasn't necessarily in line with the other two, and it clearly is not a very effective trade on its own. Um, so that's why I was kind of saying earlier that when I had gotten my, after commissions $50, that's where it should stop if I was taking those lives. And then the rest of this was a little bit of experimentation. I think that clearly we found a particular way of taking it where it doesn't work. And frankly, just that whole area was really congested and it probably wasn't very wise to be taking trades in that. Mm-mm. But now that they've done all of that, man, I can see a lot more downside to come. Especially if all of the options players want to get paid, Because 2740 times like what? Um 2740 times 0.972 or something like that. Yeah, there's still quite a ways they could go. I don't know the exact number because I'm not actually get VIX. I think that I must have had it on Kinetic. So I thought I was getting it and it's not. Or that or it just only gives it to me at the end of the day. Maybe it gives me VIX but not until the end of the day. So I'm a little disappointed in that because I wanted to look at that. And I had something to calculate it for me and it didn't work. Oh, my little Discord robot is run out of messages. I should make it play a message so that we know better. I can't take that Indian Microsoft support guys seriously. Sorry, short-term signals sometimes prove unreliable. Oh yeah. I really think, especially when we're the short-term signals, they've got to be in line with some bigger setups for sure. So somewhere down in here, I should take off half. Come on. They kind of feel a little overextended as what I think is going on here. So they're being a little skittish on me. Okay, cool. All right. So now I can just let the rest of that ride. Hey, John. I don't know if you saw my message, but I kind of think that they did one of your setups again. It wasn't with an outside bar per se, but oh no, actually maybe it was. Was it? It was an outside bar. Well, kind of. Like there's an outside bar, and then there was a bar, and then there was an inside bar, and then there was another outside bar after that. And well, let me show you what I'm talking about. Yeah. Where's my oh, I hate it when I do go full screen. It like hides my oh, maybe not. Maybe I just never opened it. Maybe I just never opened it. So you can see here's this big outside bar. And then this is not quite an inside bar because it went down, but it's close. Okay, but then you got this inside bar and this outside bar right here. Was that one an outside bar? I think it was. Actually, no, because it would have been painted green if it was outside. So it's not there, but it's like close. Like you can see it's like all on the edge. But look, here and here. And when they busted through those lines, it was like, giddy up. Let's go. You know? I thought it was a pretty solid backdrop. I'm targeting 2670. I think 26. I can go and calculate it exactly if we want. Kind of want to get out of this trade now just so that I can say I'm awesome. Oh, come on. They're a little bit too flaky up here. Looking for a test of prior high? Maybe. So I'm having an issue. I'm using CQG and I got the indexes and you can see I can see the tick. Tick is being useful. In fact, tick is probably telling me I should maybe not get maybe I won't get that downside and I should just take it off right here. Okay. Oh no, what happened? No, come back up. So I get the tick, but I don't get the VIX. I'm wondering if I don't get it until like the end of the day or something like that. Here, let me pass it to you. Let me pass it to you. Custom indicators. VIX range. Okay. Maybe it'll work for you. I'm not getting the VIX data. I thought it was included, but I went back and I looked at it and it's like I get trend and uptick, downtick, and tick, but not actually VIX. It's not listed in there. So I don't know how I was getting the data. Like it only gives you end of day data or something like that. Like I'm not sure. I don't know what the deal is. So I can't like calculate it exactly. But I think that you go and you take that calculation and it's going to go to that line. Lots of my calculating moves is working fine. I couldn't believe this concept. 2668.50 paused, 10 points from target. Yeah. I think that those two lines are going to be close though. I think that the VIX range estimation is going to be close to that previous day high. So, and that area, there was like a stop area, stop run, and all this other crazy stuff. So, would make a lot of sense for that to be a spot that it goes to. Oh man, did I really end up getting 33.75? Well, that's fine. Like I traded, this was good. All this up to here was great. And even this was great. This was when I started dicking around. Like all of these, it's really striking to me how when I start going, off plan and start doing poorly, how poorly I really do. And I think it's because I start trading in an area that I really have no business in trading, Got a couple of questions in Discord. I should answer those on my own. I think it's top of the hour. It's probably time for me to go. If you have any ideas on the VIX, I show you right here. I have it on this chart. Where'd my mouse go? Oh, it thinks that it's time for me to switch over. Okay. See my volume profile chart. You see these little lines right here. So that's the estimation. So you can see there was the previous day, Monday, and here was, that was like Sunday, I guess. Anyways, and here was, that was Fridays. And then here was yesterday's. But then I'm not getting VIX data, so it's not calculating it again. But it's probably like from here to here or something like that. So it seems to be effective. It seems to be not only that, but like look at this line. Like when they cross this line, man, if you watch it on a 5-minute chart, when they crossed that line, it was like insanity. Like somebody was very, very upset that it crossed that line. So there's definitely something to it. But it was kind of actually probably shouldn't be talking about it. It's okay. So now I'm sitting here like, I have to do it by hand? I have to come on to TradingView and like do it by hand or something? When we talk, I'll explain it. Today's moves on YM hit these areas and traded back. I think Seth could code this up. They must be giving you an end of day VIX number. Yeah, well, that's why I'm like, how do I tell where the data is coming from? How do I tell? Where did I put it? Here it is. Here's my VIX. Like from this, how do I tell where I loaded that data from? Did I actually get it from CQG, or did I have like the end of day kinetic stuff on and it gave it to me from that? Or does it give me all of these other things end of day and it only gives me tick and trend and everything live? And I have to pay $15 to get the VIX live, which probably not worth it. But I could code it up for TradingView and we could get it on TradingView delayed, which is fine. Open NinjaTrader with only one chart and one workspace open? Okay. Wait, so let's close this. And then let's switch it to my minimal workspace. Go. We'll close Jigsaw down. We don't need them anymore. So there's a few charts up. So here's the one that I was like working with. Okay. So I'm save that, and then I'll close the market analyzer too. Okay, so all I have is the NinjaTrader window, the output window, and a chart. Then add one data feed at a time to see where it's coming from. Ooh. Oh, so wait. So what if, so you're saying close it, disconnect, chart. I get what you're saying. VIX. Okay. So now it's going to, I'll say, oh, I can't reload all historical data. Doesn't do anything. If I hit F5, it doesn't do anything either. And then I could say kinetic, end of day free. But I would need to do that at the end of the day probably to see where it's coming from. Because it's definitely not coming from CQG. It could maybe, well, we could try IQ feed. Try IQ. You're going to start probably getting dropped frames here now. Is it loading something? Oh, hold on. It's loading something. Yeah, kinetic end of day is only end of day. Yeah, that's why I was wondering. I thought that I was getting it through CQG. I swear I was getting it through CQG. Well, why is it doing all that? I thought I closed those other workspaces. Close that. No. Okay, so when I opened up this one, it gave me more data. So now I could probably do the thing, right? Chart. Yes. Five-minute indicator. VIX. Where is it? VIX range. Don't auto scale, please. Thank you. Move it up here. Okay. So now you can see. So it says 2663.75. You can have two data feeds connected at the same time. Yes, I know that. Well, so is there? But that's demo data. You know what I mean? Like that won't work after tomorrow. So I'm wondering, is there a data feed that will give me the VIX? Even if it was delayed 5 minutes, it would be fine. Switch it to YM. Okay. But it won't be the same thing. I don't know if it'll work on YM. Okay. Well, maybe it is. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it works. So it's saying downside target on YM is 22,766. And what was Gary's number? Okay. 70 IQ. Oh, he didn't give an exact number. He didn't give us an exact number to know. But 22,763. Now I wonder if you take it, if you continue to adjust it based on what the VIX is at that moment versus the open, that would be interesting too, to see if that matters. But that's kind of the next stop. But I don't have that. So what are our choices here? Continue MCQG, E signal, external, rhythmic, TD Ameritrade. I could try and connect it to Thinkorswim demo. Oh, that would be weird. Huh, wait, that would maybe work though. I don't, I don't know. We're going to have to look. Tell me, it would need to be data that I don't have to sign up for every week, right? That doesn't cost a ton of money. And it doesn't have to be live. Like, I think for this one, if it was delayed 5-10 minutes, that would be fine. That would be fine, I think. Anyways, what should we name today's stream? Market pullback. I'm not really feeling anything all that super interesting about the action here, The Wall Street Happy Days Again story, not what I'm hearing on Main Street, says Jim Cramer. I don't know. Equities consolidate after huge That's what happened. I give like the most dry explanation of it possible so that when we're going back, we can, try and you'll know what you're looking at. Like if I'm looking, okay, so I want to see a day where it moved up and then it consolidated, and I want to watch the action in the consolidation, then that would be a good video to watch. Okay, anyways, I'm yapping. I will talk to you later, and I'll see you tomorrow. And in the meantime, stay profitable.